Hey, Jack. How you doing, Jack? There's a mute button at the very bottom of the screen. You can unmute.
I
Oh,
think I got.
yeah, there you go.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, and your camera's just a little bit off. I can just see the top of your head. Ah, there you go. Hey,
Okay.
how you doing? Boy, it's
Good.
only been over, I guess, probably 33 years since I last seen you.
Yeah, it's been great. Yeah, probably even longer. Who knows?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Uh,
But anyway, as you can see, I'm doing these talk story sections. I think you'd have to lower your camera just a little bit. Now I can see your glasses. Lower. Oh, I'm sorry. Higher then, higher. Now I can't see you at all. Right? Okay.
let me switch the back of this.
Oh,
I
there you
have a
go.
kick.
Oh, it's right there. Perfect.
Perfect.
Oh,
Okay.
and that I just moved. I don't know what. Well, anyway, that's good. So as I was saying, I'm doing these top stories, and so of course, what came to my mind was Jack Leviton. My brother and I always have fond memories. Whenever we think of you, we laugh because you got such a great sense of humor, a unique sense of humor, but a great sense of humor, and we like that. We kind of laugh, like that you definitely think outside outside the box. You're
Okay, so here's one thing I want to throw at you because sometimes I interchange you two guys. Who was it that I lived with on 1 West 85th for a little while? Was that you or your brother?
well, actually for a while it was both of us, but John was there first.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a time where both of us lived there, but John was there first. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay.
I think John came from the residence in New York, the one out in Prem's residence, and he was there for a month at one time.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and then I was with you. I've in let's say around '77, I think, in New York City, in Queens, and then in Buffalo, New York.
Okay, yeah, Buffalo was when I moved up to Buffalo in the beginning, I think of, geez, I think it was 77 or a little, yeah, a little before the blizzard. A
Okay.
little bit before the blizzard.
Uh
So
huh.
whenever that was, five
Yeah.
days before the blizzard of 77.
Oh wow. Okay. Uh huh. Yeah. That's right. And I remember you were doing divine cells, right? I helped you once with the refrigerator. I remember going up to this one house, I think both of us were feeling that this refrigerator could overwhelm us. I don't know if you remember that, but I sure do. Oh my gosh, because we had to go up steps. There's a
Okay,
stairway, and
okay.
so we had to go up the stairway, and so we were going one by one, lifting this heavy machine, this refrigerator up one step out of the other one.
That sounds about right. That sounds about.
Then I remember once in Buffalo, we played basketball together. I don't know if you remember that one. Remember, I had a real good hook shot.
Okay,
uh,
okay.
uh, because you're almost 7 feet tall, right?
No, no, no. I used to be 6'4.5". I lost a couple of inches over the years.
Oh,
So
really? Okay. Oh, because I always thought you were towering over me. Because
I
I'm
think Marciniak was a little taller than me, and he was a bigger boy. He was a basketball player, Dennis, if you know him.
Oh yeah, I know Dennis. Oh, I didn't know he was basketball too. So he's a great football player too.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, he was in Wisconsin. I think he tried out for the what football teams in Wisconsin? This is the Packers.
Badgers or
Yep,
the college or
a professional. He tried him out, but
professional?
he
Green
didn't
Bay
make it.
Packers?
But I remember when I was living with him in New York, he told me the story how he tried out for the Packers once.
Okay, okay.
Uh-huh.
I didn't even know that part of Dennis. Well,
Okay. Oh, yeah. so so anyway, you know, yeah, kind of like to hear, you know, what's your journey like? I see you got married. And you have what, 2 kids? Is it?
I have four.
Oh, 4 kids. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
have 4 kids, 3 boys
Uh-huh.
and a girl. My girl is my youngest.
Uh-huh. Then I saw for a while you had one job for 15 years, huh? And you got laid off during the. I
Well,
saw.
I was working for Sears selling appliances for almost 20 years total. And then I worked for Best Buy. I'm on furlough right now with Best Buy. I started working for them part-time,
Uh-huh.
but mainly selling appliances, things like that. I don't have to lift them anymore. That's the good part.
Oh, that's a good part. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, I've been a software engineer for 35 years. Uh, that's kind of like what my passion is. Uh,
Gotcha, gotcha.
so I'm imagining you're still keeping on meditating.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I've gotten any better, but I'm, I'm feeling better. So I guess it's going better. But no, yes, absolutely, because that's my that's where I go for to refresh myself, and that's my life. That really is my life. The journey hasn't always been smooth, but it's where peace is found with him.
Hmm. And it wouldn't be a journey otherwise, would it? you, you know, I remember once, you know, when I was in Bombay, and you know, Raji sent me to go to South Africa, and so just before we left, and we were going to hitchhike from Kenya to South Africa. So I asked Prem, hey, are we going to make it there alive? He says, yeah, you're going to have a hell of a lot of adventures along the way. So fast forward 49 years. So 49, just only about 6 months ago, I thought to myself, well, why didn't, you know, Prem say, why don't you just fly from Bombay to South Africa? And then immediately I got a reply was, well, it wouldn't be an adventure otherwise, would it? Because we had, you know, we had to hitchhike through Kenya, to Tanzania, Zambia, all these
Wow.
countries in
Wow.
order to make it to South Africa. And then I thought, yeah, you know, that really is, you know, it's the journey. It's not the luxury of the journey, right? It isn't like, you know, we were sent in a first class, you know, jet,
Mhm.
you know, to South Africa, but it was, yeah, the journey. So I'm sure you probably experienced the same thing in your life, you know, that this life is a journey, but at the same time, what an incredible way for us to live inside, huh?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Mine was a little less dramatic than yours. I mean, wow. I mean, that's just incredible. I mean, to me, one of the folks came back from India into our neighborhood. I remember his name, Ken Fogel. He lives in the Atlanta area, and he was the one who just started telling us about this. And it was like in our little world of smoking and getting high and, you know, just hanging out. And the message got through to a bunch of us, and it rang true. That was November, December of '72.
Oh, wow, okay.
Is when Ken came back, and I guess he was in Colorado. From Colorado, he went to India, and boy, that was like, and then received knowledge in beginning of January 4th of '73. And it's just been a wonderful journey. It's just really, life-changing. I mean, there's everything has just been great. I mean, not great in the sense of the obstacles, all the stupidity mistakes maybe, but it's just all points back to this experience. Because that's where I find my peace, in this breath.
And don't you think, Jack, I think the older I get, the more I see, I think learning is 2 steps forward and 1 step backwards. 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards. We always learn and grow. Even our mistakes, our so-called mistakes, are lessons. To learn. Otherwise, I don't think a human being. So what would be the point of this journey if we never made mistakes, right? It'd be kind of boring, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
But it's so, wonderful, to know that when we do make a mistake, at least we can go to a place inside where there are no mistakes, where there's tranquility, peace of mind, even in the midst of this shutdown, the worldwide shutdown. We don't have any problem closing our eyes and meditating, right?
No, you're right. You're right, and it leaves us no excuses because we have the time. We have the time. And it is. I always was envious of you and your brother because you guys were known as the meditators. It was funny at one point. You guys were meditating to keep the world peaceful. Like, there was something going around like that. And it was, but just being around someone who meditates, someone who has that experience is such a powerful thing. I remember when, the instructors would come through, and it would just be like, wow. Just someone who's filled with that love. It's just a precious thing, and there's nothing, you just want to be around those folks. So it was just always wonderful, being around you and your brother. It's been a ton of years, but it was just always good stories, good food. Who's the recipes? Is that you with the recipes?
Yeah, that's brother? Me. Yeah.
Okay, because you stopped that. You were doing that for the longest time, and I don't see you posting any recipes anymore.
Yeah, my site went down, and to make a long story short, I need to look for another internet service provider to put my stuff back up. So I've been kind of slacking off on that. Yeah. That's my passion, for years, is ethnic food cooking, as you can tell, Indian, okay. Thai, Mexican, all the various, different cuisines. When I was young, by the time I was five years old, that was my dad's passion, was ethnic food. So, and I grew up in California, Southern California. So whenever a new ethnic restaurant would open up, we would go visit it. So my dad then would come home, and then he would buy the ingredients and try to emulate what we had in a restaurant. So that's how my love and passion, and especially learning from various premiers about Indian food, like Catherine. I don't know if you remember Kali Rodriguez, but just the whole passion of cooking for love. I think that's, you go to a restaurant, any restaurant here, and they're cooking for money. That they want to make a buck, right? So there was a lot of anger, let's say, in the kitchen. It's not a pretty peaceful scenario environment. But we were fortunate, to learn, how to cook out of love. That's the most important ingredient, I think. And our mothers did that to us, didn't they? So when your mom cooked a meal, there wasn't hate coming out of it or anger, but it was the love of the family. So that's one reason I love to cook. How about you?
I miss those recipes. The only Indian dish that I ever learned to make when I was around was they used to make a potato pea sabji, and it was just real simple, and it was just wonderful. But now I'm missing. I go out for Indian food once in a while, but everything has changed. And there was this one place I would go to. It was like really cheap, and it was a buffet. Buffets are going to go away now.
Oh, they are, aren't they? Oh, yeah. The
only thing I loved was a good Indian buffet.
Uh-huh.
And my weakness, I'm going to admit this, my weakness in Indian food is gulab jamun.
Oh yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God. I could eat like 10, 15, 20 of those bad boys.
Uh-huh.
I'll have indigestion for 2 days, but I love Indian food. I really do. And gulab jamun's my soft spot.
Yeah, the first time I had that was in India. Oh my gosh. Oh, I've never had anything like that. I haven't made them in a while. My wife loves them, but just recently I haven't made them, but yeah. But when I do, especially with that sauce, that it's either honey or sugar, and then they put in saffron strands if it's real good, along with rose water. The rose water and really makes it.
Wow. Well, yeah, I have a soft spot for that. I just love that.
Yeah. Were you around in New York City when I did that 20-course Indian feast? I think you may have been in Buffalo by then. This is in 1979. Oh, see, yep, yes, no, 78, I think.
Yeah, I believe I was up in Buffalo at that time. I would have remembered that.
Okay.
My memory isn't that great, but an Indian buffet, 20-course meal, yes, I would have remembered that.
Yeah. Uh-huh. At that time, it costs, we were doing a fundraiser, so it cost like $20 a ticket. And we had 200 people come. So Katharina and I spent a whole week making the dish. So yeah, it was phenomenal. I still was one of the best meals I think I ever made.
Well, some of the best times have been over like Indian food or just people cooking, talking, conversing. It's a good sharing experience.
Uh-huh. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. How about your wife? What's your favorite dishes from her? Do you have any favorites, in your family?
Well, it's been 20 years since I've enjoyed her cooking, but actually, I was up there a year or so ago and had dinner, but her cooking was outstanding. She didn't cook enough, but she could make like eggplant parmesan was just unbelievable.
Ooh, oh, I love that. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Fresh salads, fresh foods, and homemade food is the best.
Yeah, yeah. So are you living in the Atlanta area? Is that where you live?
No, I'm outside of Orlando.
Oh, Orlando. Okay, Orlando. Okay.
I'm in Lake County, Orlando, a little bit out of Orlando. My son, my second oldest son lives in Orlando. My third oldest son lives in Brandon, Florida, near Tampa.
Uh-huh.
My oldest son lives in Maine, outside of Portland.
Uh-huh.
And my daughter, who's my youngest, is in Berlin, Germany.
Oh, wow. Oh, what's she doing in Germany?
She had boyfriend there, and then she ended up liking Germany and just likes the whole thing. And she's learning German, and she's been there for a couple of years.
Oh, cool.
She got a work permit, so she likes it there. She really, really likes the whole culture. So.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's really a family and friends culture, isn't it? You know, it's really a society. I think we're kind of missing that in the States. You know, we're so, uh, you know, I guess rat race is kind of describes it, doesn't it? You know, people are so busy just working. Uh, you know, just think in Europe, they get like 6 weeks to 2 months vacation a year, right?
Wow. Wow. That's crazy.
Uh-huh.
I'm back.
You know, they have work life balance. I totally believe in that.
No, it's been really nice for me because for me the last 5 months I've been on furlough, and you know for health reasons I am not looking to work right now. You know, I want to stay out of that mess for a little while longer, especially here in Florida.
Yeah.
But it's been really nice because my whole life it's been work, 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 and you know, time passes by and you just got to smell the flowers and just enjoy this gift of life we've been given, and you know, just to be in. I don't know. It's just I've just been thinking about this lately of just being in sync with myself, and like a record that's off. You know, like you have a 33 RPMs, but you really have a 45-degree record. Somehow it's not, we're not syncing up, and we just have to sync up to ourselves. And it's just that same message he's always said. And as long as I'm focused on that, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
The turmoil can come and go, you know, and everything else, but I got my armor on and I'm feeling good. So that's about it. That's about it. It's just the same lesson again and again and again. Enjoy life. You know, be happy.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you and I were on the same wavelength. That's exactly my state of mind. You know, is harmony. You know, in each and every moment. You know, definitely enjoy the ride. Because as Prem says, someday we'll meet the wall, right? You know, we come into this world, take a breath, you know, and then ultimately take your last breath.
Yeah. No, I get that because like about a year and a half ago, I was attending a program in Miami. And in that, he was talking about the wall. And it was the first time I had heard him, or maybe first time I really heard him talk about that. Okay.
Yeah.
And the next day, I was going for an MRI on my brain. So, and so I'm hearing him talk about this wall and my brain, and I'm going for this MRI, and I'm going, no, don't misinterpret this, Jack. Don't misinterpret it. And it turned out there was really no problem. I've been through a lot of health issues this year, and actually I've all come through it. You know, it's just come through it. It looked like it was going to be. They found this thing on my brain. It turned out it was inert. It was not anything.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, just all this stuff. You know, they did 4 months ago a double catheterization on my heart because they thought there was something wrong with my heart. And you know, be prepared to stay here. You know, a week later, the doctors, you know, they released me. There was, you know, I got to go home. There was nothing that they had to do. Doctor calls me a week later, says, you got great genetics, your heart's great. You know, they've been cutting me open, telling me I might have cancer on my skin. I mean, all this stuff. And it's not to say that something might not happen tomorrow, but I guess the whole thing in the last year is that I've spent too much time sometimes thinking about what could happen instead of being.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, and if it did happen, and I feel lucky that it's not happening, at least not now, but how lucky I am to be enjoying this life and have this experience, you know, and have something security, you know. I'm not worried about that. You know, I'm scared. I was scared. When I was my son was with me when I went in to get the catheterization. And there was a point where I broke down, you know, they were getting me. Because I wasn't ready to go right yet. You know, I just like was not ready to check out.
Yeah.
And, you know, just like, no, I enjoy life. I want to be here. I want to, you know, as long as me and the man is around, you know, I want to be around him as much as possible. And it just this last year and a half has really made me appreciate my life a lot more and how precious it is.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and that's and I think moment by moment we just get greater and greater strength. So what life, you know, digs out to us, we can kind of go inside and see, well, it's a miracle we're alive. Well, it's a miracle I'm alive, right?
Amen. Yeah, it is. And but you seem to be always enjoying yourself for the most part.
Oh yeah, I have zero complaints about life. You know, yeah, I have been treated extremely well. You know, fortunately, you know, at a young age, I always had the wisdom, even when I was young. I believed in preventative medicine, even at 18 years old in high school, that the way I looked at it, this is the only human body you get. I don't know of anybody who gets trade-ins while they're alive. You know, so at a young age, you know, I got involved, you know, with surfing, as you know, meditation. My body was super sensitive, you know, to drugs and alcohol. So I didn't even have a chance, you know, to you know, to delve into that world. And I guess I've been fortunate. Let's put it this way. I listen to my body. My body talks to me and it tells me, you know, its needs. So yeah, I feel extremely fortunate. Here's a funny tale. A couple of years ago, I had a job as a software engineer where we're designing software for heart surgeons. So this, you know, when you have doing a surgery at a heart, there's a whole systematic way of step by steps that you're supposed to do. So you do the step one, you know, anything bad, you know, happens, there's a whole, those steps are captured. Anyway, to make a long story short, I asked the CEO of the company for the software, hey, you know, how come, you know, preventive medicine is not more pervasive in our society? And he said, oh no, we can't do that because nobody wants to take responsibility. I think that's kind of funny, that yeah, you know, Americans don't want to take responsibility, you know, for for their lives. So
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
So it's kind of you know, neat, and you know, to know that you and I we're on the same wavelength, to know that yeah, this life, you know, is so precious, and we take care of it. You know, it wasn't your time to check out, right? You know, like the universe is saying, hey, Jack, you got a lot more years, you know, to live.
Amen.
And so even I would imagine in the midst of that journey, the thread that tied it all together, what was to know that secure place inside. I feel sorry for people, you know, say have to go through stuff, you know, maybe that way you went in, and there's no security inside, right? There's no place to turn to.
That's correct. Yeah, it's knowing that comfort that you know, it's been battering in my head where the infinite meets the finite.
Yeah.
You know, and isn't that wow? It's just like that's the journey, you know.
Mm-hmm.
you come and you go, but it's. I just want to be around here a little while longer. It's just an enjoyable journey through this pandemic and everything. I mean, like, to me, the first 2 months of the pandemic was probably the best for me. The first 2 or 3 months, because I could drive anywhere I wanted to go. There was no traffic. The air would seem nicer. You know, the sky was nicer. I mean, the birds were chirping louder. I mean, everything stopped. Everything stopped. And it was just a fantastic time on this planet. And now we're getting back into everything that we used to. You know, not me personally, but it's just everything starting up again.
Yeah.
And, you know, but just to have that peace inside so that you could tune yourself to that and not tune yourself to this garbage out here. What a joy. What a joy. And to me, that's a journey. And just trying to find that day. That's my journey.
I remember, and Prem, when I was watching the shutdowns, he was talking about, he saw like videos of New Delhi where there's actual clear skies for the first time, you know, in 30 years. And he was saying, you know, and you could actually see, you know, in some villages, the Himalayas where you couldn't see, you know, since the early 70s. Yeah, I kind of felt, you know, my personal thing is that Mother Nature, Gaia, told us all to, you know, to go to our rooms and think it over. That's my personal thing on that. And we're not too, yeah. What's your take? I think the more diverse a society is from nature, the more neurotic a society becomes. Even, you know, during the shutdown, I still can't believe that there's people saying that you shouldn't social distance and you shouldn't wear a mask. You know, I guess it was true when Raji said years ago, common sense is uncommon.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. And I'm just grateful. I live out sort of like outside of the city a little bit, so I can walk around outside without meeting up with anyone most of the time. So it's sort of nice, you know. It's sort of nice to be outside of. I just couldn't imagine what being in that pandemic and being in New York City was like at that time, man. That was just
wow.
I
know. Oh gosh, yeah.
Growing up in Queens and watching all those people just dying, you know, every day. It was just hundreds, and sometimes thousands. It was crazy. So
yeah, you know, I got that flicker of hope that someday, you know, humanity will understand their true nature. There's theories, you know, that it takes about a million years, you know, for a civilization to evolve and change for the better. You know, I kind of believe that we're the new kids on the block, that you may have civilizations out there that are billions of years old, even trillions of years old, who are so sophisticated, but they're sophisticated in the terms of understanding, you know, the basic laws of compassion, love, tolerance, you know, patience, you know, for all. I can't imagine, you know, right now we have a president who doesn't have any one of those values.
No, empathy is not anywhere to be found there.
Yeah. And yet, isn't it strange that it resides in everyone? You know, that the universe doesn't say, there's Jack. You know, we're going to bypass him. But our true essence is that. Doesn't that still kind of blow your mind? You know, how still few people on this planet realize that the jewel exists inside.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's it's an inside secret.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's and how much do I still buy into it, you know, and that's what my concern is, how much I still buy into it and not realize what a joy I have, what a party I have going on inside. So
Mhm. Yeah, that's well, we all get suckered into it. You know, that's part, I think, of the game. I kind of see it, Jack, almost like a video game. That's what, the way I look at it. A curveball gets thrown at me. At times, I strike out. But curveballs keep on getting thrown. Then eventually, it's you go to first base, and even to go to first base, you go to the next level in the video game of life, and so life will throw you another curveball. I don't think there ever will be a point where we can clap our hands and say the universe will never throw me any more curveballs, right?
oh, absolutely. I think it's probably usually my arrogance that gets me in trouble. But if the teacher, Prem, always manages to, as long as I have faith that I could ask.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
But that's be humble enough to realize that some days you just don't got it, and
yeah, yeah,
you can't find your breath if you tried. You just feel out of it, and
Mhm.
you know, at those moments, that's the beauty of him. That's the beauty. It's, you know, it's just pick you right up and bring joy into your heart. You know you know, I don't need. I remember I was thinking about this before I received knowledge, and I was on the path, you know, to going and listening, you know, from people like yourself and others. And I was in my room. I was living at home, and I had a real cosmic experience. You know, probably never have had one like that since. The room lit up, the angels, you name it. I mean, I was there. almost 50 years later, I don't need those miracles. I need the miracle of the heart.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Yeah,
I don't need, you know, maybe back then I needed a show of some type of force or something, but right now it's the love, you know, and it's the love that keeps me in this game, you know, and certainly with him speaking to us practically every day, you know,
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
just
Oh,
amazing. I mean, just amazing. I mean, I'm going like, wow, you
yeah.
really want me to comprehend this, don't you?
Yeah. And as you probably know, I love like studying like the various religions, and I have a fondness for Buddhism, and so there's this one story about because people always think that visions are everything. So this one guy went to his teacher, went to his guru, and told him about his vision, and the teacher was kind of looked at him and says, well, so what? Just keep on going, keep on going. The guy would have visions and visions. And finally, after a period of time, the visions went away. But the most important thing, he finally came back to his teacher and says, oh, now I understand what you wanted me to experience was the pure love, simplicity, patience, tolerance. That is the miracle of life. Visions come and visions go, right? But that love, that patience and compassion is there all the time. And that's the most important thing, right?
Yeah, amen, amen.
I think we're gone from human doers to human beings.
Hmm.
Even during this shutdown, the world is still in a mindset of doing, and fortunately, few realize that the mindset is being.
Yeah, yeah. There's no awards at the end of your life for how much you did.
uh,
So,
exactly.
so,
Yeah, even I've seen friends of mine who actually died from working too hard. Like for example, I used to work for an observatory in Maui, and it was 10,000 feet up. And this one guy would work, 7 days of the week. So you would go up to 10,000 feet, and then 10 hours later, you would go down to sea level. So he would do it, day in, day out for years. And so that causes quite a damage to the human body, which, the body needs to recuperate from going to high elevation to
mhm.
low. But unfortunately, he died, and the observatory put someone else in his place. So yeah, all that work was kind of like not right.
Yeah, yeah. No, no. You're right. You're right. It's amazing how you could do less and do less and feel more.
Yeah. I remember
No.
once I worked for Charles Schwab, and I saved them 1 year about $1 billion. And how I saved it, imagine if you were a trader and you sign on the bottom line that you would never take any, your clients along with you. So just as by then, Schwab was in existence for a good 40 years, but they never had any mechanism put in place. So the first month that we put the program into production, we saw one, ex broker, his clients took over $150 million that month from Schwab to the other firm. So I get months later an email from the lawyers saying that you probably saved the company over $1 billion. But now, get this, Jack. This is
Yeah.
our reward that we got, is that anybody who worked on that project got laid off.
Yeah, yeah. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that wow?
I learned, over the ages, you don't cry over spilt milk. But to be honest, I love telling this tale because it clearly, demonstrates that Fortune 500 companies really don't care too much about you. you know,
Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. That's the truth. That's the truth. I could agree with that and give you examples, but that's the truth.
yeah, yeah. But then again, as humanity, we could have a workforce and companies where it's a win-win situation for all. I wrote a book on conscious politics, and that was for me, politics. If you lead a nation, the only way to lead is through kindness, through patience, tolerance, compassion for your fellow man. Those are the characteristics that will help a country become truly great. Is the wisdom of human ethics and morals, right?
No, that's instead of this greed that's just so pervasive.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
how much is enough? How much, honestly, in fact, I just sometimes when I do too much grocery shopping and I bring too much food into my house and enjoy life, I mean, how much is enough, even on my level? You have to just, I mean, it's just how many billions do you need? Apparently, Bezos earned another $70 billion since this pandemic started. I mean, how much
Okay.
money is, you know, I think we've just become gluttons.
Hmm. You know,
Gluttons
I,
for,
I saw that it would take the average American 3.4 million years to make as much money as Jeff Bezos makes. 3.4 million years.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with that picture, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. When there are people starving and hungry, and yeah, the greed has, and I think that's what this is partly about right now is a redistribution of some wealth on some level to people who need it more.
Yeah.
So let's hope.
I was totally. I couldn't believe how incredible that speech was that Michelle Obama did. You know, for me, just did you see that at all?
I did not. I did not. I had NPR on that night, and I fell asleep to the.
If you can see it, see it. You know, it just brought me, you know, back in a state of wow. You know, there is, you know, people, you know, in power who has love for humanity. They have that kindness, patience. They have tolerance. Let's put it this way: it kind of restored, you know, the goodness that can arise when we have good leaders. It just, yeah. I would highly recommend it. It was, yeah, I was literally blown away.
I'll definitely listen to that.
Yeah. So it's kind of amazing, you know, that on this journey, you know, you and I we're on the same wavelength, you know. Yeah, and I just feel so blessed, and I know that you do too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I just kind of wanted to reach out, you know, that I know it's been a while, you know, when I see your posts, I always, you know, chuckle, you know, to myself, and you know. And a lot of times, you know, I talk to my brother, and you know, and we chuckle and laugh because, you know, we have such, you know, good memories, you know, of you, and to know, you know, it's been many moons, but also at the same time, we just picked up the conversation just like it was yesterday, right?
Yeah, just you've helped restore, filled in some blanks there for me. Thank you. Thank you. It's been wonderful. I enjoyed this immensely.
Well, and give my love to your family. You know, yeah, it's nice, you know, to catch up. You know, to you know, where you've been, and yeah, I'm happy, you know, that we actually did this. You know, it's just it's great, you know, seeing old friends who we haven't seen in many moons.
Which one of you brothers lived in Detroit?
That was me.
Okay. I came to Detroit after you
okay.
left. Okay.
Yeah, that's something we can definitely talk offline someday.
Yes. Yeah. I get it. Okay.
All right. Hey, well, you have a wonderful day.
You too. Have a good one.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. Bye.